Hello, everybody. So, this is Steven, and I'm here with the first ever copy of Reforge. This is, oh my god. All right, I've done 1,000 takes of this, so I'm just going to keep it. That was my dog coughing. Please be quiet. All right, so this is the first ever copy of Reforge. This is the pre production sample, so this is a very close rendition of what everyone will be receiving when it ships in the coming months. So, there's a couple issues with this one that we're going to fix, a couple alterations that we're going to make for the final version, and I'll show you as we walk through it. I received this yesterday, so I've actually already opened it. I got it right before I had to go to work, so I couldn't resist, and I had to open it at work and check it out. But here we go. Let's take a look. So there's the cover, Reforged Kickstarter Edition. Some info on the bottom there. 2 to 6 players, 20 to 90 minutes. Includes the expansion. So, with the front panel here, some of our little characters. This is the flip panel. This is where it'll open from. Just some contents on the box there. Just nothing much on the side. Nothing much there. On the back, that's everything. It's on the back of the box. Pretty happy with how that turned out. So let's take a look and open it up. So I've already opened this, so some things are a little out of whack. The cards were wrapped. There were some things that were packaged that I couldn't help but open. So here we got our instruction manual. Let's take a look at that real quick. So we got the contents, play area. It's got some important vocabulary you'll need to know there. Card types, stats, prepping the game. We'll talk more about this in another video. We'll do a gameplay demo. Turn flow, reforging, very important part of this game. Attacking, blocking. There's some weird issue here with the numbers. You can see it. I think you can see it in the page there. That's getting fixed. That's the reason we do these samples. And gadgets, shields, and looting. So these are all the base rules, but on the back we have additional team rule sets, and house rules will be available on the website. The house rules are a couple of things we've been playing with. Sometimes we'll use them, sometimes we won't. They're just fun little additions to the game to change how you want it to flow. We didn't include them in the main rules because we thought it worked best the way it is like this, but please, I encourage you all to check out the house rules when you get the game and try them out because there's some fun ones. All right, so before we get to the cards, let's take a look at the dice here. So we got the dice bag, a little bit of an upgrade than what was originally quoted. We've got blue, it's hard to tell there, but it's more of an orange, red, and purple. And they're all marbled as well. And we match the colors to the original colors of the starting blades of the game. So you can kind of match your color to the blade colors. All right, let's put these over here. And so one big difference with this box when compared to the final version is that there will be a divider in the center that will separate the cards from the dice. That was not included in this version for whatever reason, but I've already talked to the people and it's going to get worked out. So here we go. This is the best part. Let's take a look at the cards. So we used a linen finish, so it's going to be a little bit different than what we've been using at conventions. So if you've played it already at events, you've used the cards that we used from, they were like single run decks, so they're not the same as these. These are more of they're more sturdy. I'll get in closer there. You can see the texture on the card. Very similar to if you've played Cards Against Humanity, I think has cards like this. I know Exploding Kittens does, and I know Unstable Unicorns does too. So if you played games like that, you know that they have a linen finish like that. If you've played at events too, you haven't seen this background too. We changed the back of the cards to give it a little more character. So let's go through them. So most of this video will probably be me going through the cards, so we can take a look at everything. But here we got the Adventurer. This is our purple one. Let's do this. We got our orange Adventurer. Or that's purple, I'm sorry. The other one was blue. It's hard to see on the camera. Then we have our green and yellow. These ones were added after the fact because we figured why not have 6 players? And then we have our red. And then we have 6 of these. These are our starting grips. So everybody will start the game with that setup. Not very strong, but that's the point, right? So let's go through. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. And then we got our blades. So let's take a look at our blades. So good boy. It's kind of the famous blade from the game. The toothpick. So we're going to go up in strength as we go through this. The late night. The narwhal. Now this was a late edition. This was one of the highest tier backers was able to come up with this one. So this was thanks to Rochelle for that. The claw, the nail, the fist, the hive, the malpractice, the serpent, written word. This is another late edition. This was one of the highest tier backers. So thank Rachel for that one. I like this one a lot. Barrel, the dungeon master. Definitely one of the favorites at events. This has been a mainstay for the game. The anthology, so this is another late edition. Stack of books. It's hard to see the text there, but maybe you can see some of the titles. Alright, Hero's Blade. The Monolith, so this was a tier as well. There's everybody who backed that tier. So everything, I think it was tier 5, 4, 5, and 6, or 5, 6, and 7, I forget. But there's everybody's names. So if you got this game, you're going to have this card. This version of the game will be the only version of the game to have this card in it. The Sabe, the Compensator, and that's all of the base blades. We have the horror blades too, but those are in the back of the deck, so we'll wait to get to those. We've got some leather grips, kind of stone but wrapped in leather. Steel grips, gold grips, impact grips. So these are a way to add a little defense to your grip as well. Usually grips just add attack, but these ones will add some defense. Same thing with the glass grip here. And then the serrated grip, which adds extra attack and a little bit of a defense. Alright, our guards now. So, lowly wooden guard, mainly used to be able to reforge. So you can complete your sword with these and then reforge. They don't give you any bonuses, but that's not really the point. The point is just give you a part, have something on the sword. Our leather and stone guards, our steel guards, and our golden guards. Our impact guards. So these all match the grips. All grips and guards have matching combos. There is a house rule where you can have bonuses for having complete sets. We decided not to put that in because frankly this game is about moving quick and swapping and changing parts constantly, so it didn't make a lot of sense to try and get parts that matched. It would for late game, but I didn't want to discourage people from moving forward. So that you can play with that rule if you'd like, but we tend not to. So we got our glass guards and our serrated guards. All right, let's look at shields. So we got wooden shields. We got 4 of those. Silver shields, steel shields, I guess, 3 of those. Golden shields, 2 of those. And glass shield, there's only 1 of those. So you'll notice the blades and the shields all have requirements on them. This is what level you need to be at. I'll explain them more in a gameplay video later, but we won't get in too much depth now. Crossbow, so we're getting to the gadgets now. So crossbow, the hidden pistol, shoe knife, holy book, lucky coin. So all of the cards we just looked at add little modifiers to your turns. So they can add defense or attack. Forge hammer lets you reforge early. Deforge hammer. This is one of I call them bomb cards because they just completely change the flow of the game. They could screw up people who are ahead. They could screw up people who are behind. It could just ruin a plan somebody has. So this is a we're planning to add a few more of these later. I want more bomb cards, not the Deforge hammer, but adding more cards that completely alter the game flow. Because this game's about chaos. Trip Mine, one of the most fun cards in the game. It will, when you play it, you actually put it in the deck face up. So whoever comes across it is the one who's going to take the damage. It also keeps you safe because people who steal it take damage as well. So if they know you have it, you could be safe. So distraction cards, these are all for stealing. So these all are functionally the same, they just have different art. Alright, Smoke Bomb. This was a really late addition. So this allows you to shuffle the salvage back into the armory. So shuffle the discard pile into the draw pile. This is kind of a... If someone's ahead, they could use this as a... like just a safety tactic to make sure that nobody gets any of the cards that are in that discard pile, because there are ways to draw from the discard pile or get parts back from the discard pile. You can play this to make sure nobody can do that. But you also put those cards back in play, so that's something to think about. Burst shots, this is the only way to break a shield outside of doing damage to it. Spear shots, so this is how you can steal a garter grip from a player that has it in play. Golden spear shots, so these are game changers too. These allow you to trade blade with any player regardless of their forge level or your forge level. So if you're behind, you're like 2 forges behind, you got a weak blade, this can completely change the game for you and put the person you just stole from in a whole lot of trouble when they get the weaker blade. Looking glass, so these are used to find a blade from the armory. Magnets, these are how you can take a card from the discard pile, like I was saying before. Thief's Glove, so these are another way to steal from a player, but the player must reveal their hand to you. So they show you their hand, you draw a card. So they lose by showing their hand to everybody, but you also have to give them a card. So it's not a complete OP move. You still have to give up something. All right, so now we're in the horror themed cards. This is the Scary Things expansion. So let's take a look. We have the Camper Slayer, the Best Friend, the Final Girl, the Abomination. This is my favorite. And the Backwoods. Right now, this is the strongest blade in the game, doing 8 damage. Only 5 defense, but crazy amount of damage. If you have players that are weak at the end, and you know that all you have to do is pick off the, they're not going to be able to hit you, and they don't have much defense, this blade will tear through them, and you'll win the game. Alright, some new parts. So we have the Bone Grip and the Hellish Grip. So these are a little different. There's only 2 of them, so they're big stat bonuses. So these are pretty powerful cards. Same thing with the guards here. So we have the Bone Grips give you 2/2, the best of any of the guards. Adding up, having a total of 4 here is better than any other guard in the game. Same thing with these Hellish guards. A lot of defense and a ton, and you get an attack bonus. So it's basically the gold guard with an attack bonus. Alright, and we have 2 new shields. The Necro Shield, a little bit stronger than the wooden shield, and the Ribcage, which is a little bit stronger than the steel shield. Alright, now the gadgets. So this is where for the this expansion and future expansions, we're going to try and do interesting gadgets that completely change gameplay. That's the whole point of gadgets, is to change things up. This game is not fair. I can't stress that enough. It's fun, it's chaotic. You can come back from a complete loss with cards like this. So let's take a look. Puzzle box. So if puzzle box is in your hand when you die, you return to life with 1 health without being looted and deforge to D4. Discard puzzle box, skip to your turn. So if you die with this in your hand, you don't die. You still have 1 health left. You have to lose all your forge levels, so you go all the way back to D4, but you still have all the cards that you died with. So you still have everything, and it is now your turn. So this is your chance to get one final blow in on somebody and, win the game. Or just take out somebody who thought they could kill you. So even though you don't win with this is a good way to mess up whoever's attacking you. Monkey's Paw. So as of now, this is the only way to get health back. So discard up to 7 cards. For each discarded, recover 1 health. So if you see someone hoarding cards, this might be why. So make sure you keep an eye out for them. But discarding 7 cards is not going to be an easy feat. Usually, unless you're in the late game, like really late game, you need all the cards you get. So virus sample. Target player must attack self. Shields are ignored. Target player cannot block. So this is a way to attack. If you're weak, you don't have a good blade, someone near you does, one of your enemies does, make them attack themselves. So if they had that chainsaw, the backwoods, that does 8 attack with 5 defense. So depending on what their other stats are, you could have them attack themselves. They're going to be destroying themselves. So this is a good way to turn the tables at least for 1 turn. You can't attack on that turn. This kind of replaces your attack. So you can attack or draw at the end of your turn. You cannot attack and draw. So what it doesn't say is that you can't reforge. So you could still reforge on a turn that you use this gadget. So that's one way to both do damage on a turn and reforge. There's not a lot of cases where that happens, but with this card it does. So strange goo. So target player cannot reforge on their next turn. Good way if you know somebody's planning something, if you know somebody's trying to get ahead, this is a good way to halt them in their tracks for just a little bit. Missing a turn to reforge is a big deal in this game. You'll see more when we do the gameplay demos. And shapeshifters. So attached to blade to act as either a guard or a grip. So this can be used in place of a grip or a guard. So if you have a blade that's set up, you got a blade, grip, guard, you want to reforge, but you don't have any, let's say you don't have any guards to use. So I'm going to put our guard here. So this acts as a guard. Now we can reforge. So definitely a fun little card. Fun addition to the game. All right. So those are the cards of Reforge. This is pretty much exactly what you guys are going to get. I think card quality and material, this is pretty much exactly what you guys are going to get. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think they look great. I don't know. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's pretty incredible to have come this far. I have to thank all of you guys. I couldn't have done this without you. I'm super excited to hear what you think of the game when you finally get your hands on it. For those of you that have already played it at events and had a good time, thank you so much. I appreciate everything you guys have done. Couldn't have done it without you. I'm going to have to shut off this video for now, but we'll definitely be doing a gameplay demo probably this weekend. I'll see if we can get a gameplay video up using this version of the game. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions about the game, any questions about the rules, I know the rule sets are up on the website, but if you have any other questions about anything else, don't hesitate to email me. I think my email's up there, but it's secretbossgames@gmail.com. Or you can just leave a comment on the post where I put this. That's fine too. Thank you guys so much. I know this was kind of ad-libbed. It wasn't rehearsed. We're just trying to... Honestly, my dog was barking through most of it the last couple takes, so I said, F it. We'll see how this one goes. So, thank you guys. I'll be talking to you pretty soon. Have a good day.